How una dey, my people? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. And the issue we dey on ground today actually get how e be. I was just going through the internet today, and I came across this article that says why most of these Nigerian Southeast leaders are now very interested in what's it called, Nnamdi Kanu release, which is the leader of the IPOB. First of all, Peter Obi talked about it. Before we will say Jack, the governor, the Southeast Governors Forum, they talked about it. Before we even say Jack, then following the Ike just came in back to back. The Southeast senators caucus talked about it. We saw Abia, we saw the likes of Senator Victor Onyema and others. They talked about it. They even had to go pay a visit to one security agency, federal agency like that, to talk to the president about the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Then I came across this post. When I saw this post on a channel's website, I was like, let me even see what is inside here. And then, all of them have always said it is because if Nnamdi Kanu is released, the security threats in the Southeast will go away and all of that. Well, we don't know if it will still solve the security threats in the Southeast. But from what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself said is, once he is released, once he is granted bail, they will know the difference between those who are agitators and those who are just using his name to cause chaos in the southeastern region. That's what he said. So now they've reached an agreement, and yes, we believe that with the likes of Senator Abia and the Southeast Senators caucus, the Southeast Governors Forum talking about it, we believe that there's a positive hope that we might just wake up one day and hear that he will be released on this day or on this day. Now, because if he's not released, it's really going to be a very big blow on their face. Do you understand? Someone made a comment this evening and was like, okay, the court has granted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu bail. Why are they going to beg? He wrote something very long. I think maybe we'll read that alongside this video here. But first of all, let's take a look at this article from Channels TV, what they wrote on their official website. I'm just going to read it out. Just listen carefully. So guys, this article is coming from Channels Television, and it said five reasons many are calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu from prison. There's a widespread belief that the releasing Nnamdi Kanu could pave the way for the dialogue and a peaceful resolution to the long-standing issue in the southeastern region. For quite a while, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has been detained, and the continued detention has been a basis for widespread debate and controversy in Nigeria. Several leaders from the southeastern region have been urging the federal government to release Kanu, including the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. I said it here that he was the first person. Even as security concern within the region deepens. In a recent move, the Southeast governors resolved to meet with President Bola Tinubu to discuss possibilities for Kanu release, even though the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi says the offense of the detained IPOB leader is a difficult one and can only be resolved by a competent court of law. But court has granted him bail. Following the persistent call for Kanu's freedom, here are 5 compelling reasons why many believe he should be released from prison, focusing on human rights, the potential for dialogue and peace, legal fairness, political stability, and strong public sentiment. Now, let's get right into it. They say, number 1, human rights. For activists, Nnamdi Kanu prolonged detention raises significant human rights issues. Many believe his rights to freedom of speech and assembly have been violated. International human rights organizations have various points called for his release, emphasizing the need for fair treatment and adherence to the rule of law. 2. Dialogue and peaceful resolution. There is a widespread belief that releasing Nnamdi Kanu could pave the way for dialogue and a peaceful resolution to the long-standing issue in the southern region. Proponents of this idea suggest that Kanu's release could help de-escalate tension and foster a more constructive conversation between the government and pro-Biafra group. Third, legal and judicial fairness. They have been concerned about the legality and fairness of Kanu arrest and detention. Critics argue that his trial has been made by legal irregularities and that releasing him would demonstrate Nigerians' commitment to upholding justice, judicial fairness, and due process. Political stability. Nnamdi Kanu detention has been a source of unrest and agitation within the southeast. There are many who are of the opinion that his release could help calm the situation, reduce protests and violence, and contribute to overall political stability in Nigeria. According to those who push this idea, Kanu's release could improve relations between the government and the southeastern populace. And 5, which is the last, public sentiment and pressure. There's a significant public support for Nnamdi Kanu release both domestically and internationally. It is thought to concern quarters that releasing him could address public grievance and demonstrate that the government is responsive to the concern of its citizens, potentially boosting its credibility and legitimacy in the eyes of the people. Kanu has been seeking legal means to regain his freedom. However, a recent fundamental human rights suit which his legal team instituted against the federal government was dismissed by Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu has sued the attorney of the Federation and the Department of Service for 1 billion in damages for alleged rights violation. The IPOB leader claimed that the DSS and the Director General violated his right to a fair hearing by allegedly preventing his lawyers from having unhindered interaction with him while he was being detained in preparation for his defense in his criminal. While delivering judgment, Justice Omotosho held that Kanu failed to provide credible evidence to sustain his claims that the IPOB leader interaction with his lawyer were interfered with and that he was denied